checking all my marks here. Here we go. That's good. Mics are good. Okay, here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
Waterman's pens, every one a master writing instrument, and Waterman's ink, the ink that goes up to 3 times as far as ordinary inks, are proud to present Gangbusters in its relentless war upon this crime wave.
Radiation has made me an enemy of civilization.
The Morning Stream, shoving hobos and sucking the cheese since 2011.
Shirley Scott Fletcher says that in jest. I've never shoved a hobo my entire life, not once.
Shoving hobos.
Have you ever shoved a hobo even by accident that you're aware of?
Gosh, no.
Okay.
Heck no.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a problem. I think it's an exaggeration that Brian and I have anything to do with hobo shoving. So please.
It feels like that song by Hobo slumping, slow-mo, babe, get up, get up.
Oh,
What is that? Who's that
I used to
group?
love that.
Yeah.
I used to love hearing that. I don't know.
God, what were they called?
Jump up and down band.
I gotta look it up. I've got it in my library.
.com. I don't even know the name of the song.
I think it's called Hobo Humping Slowbo Babe.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad we found this out. That's awesome.
It's by Whale. Yes, from their 1995 album We Care.
Whale is the band? A whale?
Whale.
Okay.
Whale, as in WHALE, as in Jonah, as in Moby Dick, as in Jabberjaws. Nope, that was a shark.
Oh, right. It's like floating candy bar in space, Star Trek 4, The Quest for Home, or whatever it is.
Sure, yes.
What's the name of that movie?
Floating candy bar in space. Wait, what?
Do you not remember that? So, like, the whole thing with that 4th Star Trek movie was that the whales...
The big spaceship that looked like a Toblerone that was attacking the Earth.
Yeah, it's just a big frickin' candy bar out there, just going brrr, and the whales all
I
went
remember
brrr.
the whales, and I remember they apparently discovered a new part of the Enterprise that all of a sudden could hold a bunch of whales and water and stuff if they needed to.
Yeah, that was convenient. Actually, wait, didn't Scotty have to build that on the fly? Because he was like, we need aluminum glass.
We're going to have to clean out the captain's cargo area.
It features one of my least favorite scenes in Star Trek. It's right up there with Black Widow saying...
you are not going to say Scotty talking to the Mac computer mouse.
Yeah, I hate it.
Is your least favorite. Oh, no.
I hate it. Do you know why I hate it? Let me tell you why I hate it. I hate it because it's not even that bad of a joke. My biggest problem with it is the continuity issue I have. So, Scotty is an engineer of the highest order. And in Star Trek, that implies like a deep education, not just in what's current, but what came before. And the different like quarters on the ship always have like, you know, how Picard had like ancient cool stuff on the walls all the time. Kirk had old boats and ships and stuff from like the 1700s.
Navigational equipment and stuff.
Yeah. You're telling me that Scotty has no idea what a computer mouse was in the 19th century? Give me a freaking break. I would say,
you know, okay, let's look at a more realistic or more real world example. And I think we have to go with somebody maybe a little bit younger than Nick.
Okay.
And it would have to be somebody, you know, like some chat room person or some kid that we know.
Okay.
You put them in front of a rotary telephone.
Okay.
And all they're familiar with is wireless phones. Maybe, you know, they're familiar with the touch tone only because their smartphone simulates that grid of numbers that they have to push if it's a number that they don't have already in their system.
Sure.
You put them in front of a rotary, they're gonna first thing they're gonna try and do is push inside each of those little circles to see if those are actually buttons behind that big plastic dial. I think.
So here's what I would say. You're correct. Your average 18-year-old probably doesn't get it.
Sure.
They probably have no idea.
But let that 18-year-old grow up into being like a telecommunications specialist they're still probably not going to have like a class that says, here's what rotary phones look like and how they worked.
I don't know,
Your
man.
your test will be on Friday. Be
I
sure
don't
to
know.
study for
I
it.
think that if he walked into a room, saw like a Mac there, saw this little thing tied to it with a cable sitting to its side on a little pad.
No, the best part is he goes up and he talks to the computer first, his computer, and then the guy says, no, you have to use the mouse. And then he picks up the mouse like it's a microphone. That's the best part.
I hate it.
All right. Okay.
I hate it.
You, right? You've got, all this equipment, mixer, computer, microphone, all this stuff that we
Sure.
use on a daily basis to make podcasts.
Yeah.
There's got to be some technology that we could go back to in the history of audio recording that you'd be like, yeah, I don't know how that wax cylinder
Oh, I
frickin'
may not know
works.
how it worked exactly, but I know what it is. I wouldn't go back to a wax cylinder and go, what's that thing is that a straw to suck my coffee through? Like,
wax?
yeah.
Hello, wax?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, it's not necessarily that he would know everything there was to know about a mouse, but he would know that the mouse existed as a point in time in computer tech. I just know it. I just know it. So I don't know. It drives me, every time I see it, it drives me crazy. I just can't handle it. And it's unfortunate because there's not a lot of other things to like about that movie. So that chops one out. Like, what's left? Wessel.
Spock looking like some headband wearing hippie on the bus in San Francisco with the guy with the boombox.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to watch this movie for Film Sack. What are we waiting for?
I thought we did, didn't we? I thought we did.
Did we watch 4? I don't know if we watched 4. Did we?
I don't know if we did now. I can find out with the new hot tool, QuickSack. QuickSack.ly, which is rad. Let's see here.
J.C. Calhoun Scott, he's a mechanical engineer, not a computer scientist.
It doesn't matter.
I think it is really divided in the chat room. Like some people are like, nope, Scott's right. Nope, Brian's right.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little surprised how divided it is because I thought I was on the right side of history here with this stuff. Maybe not. Let's see. Trek. How many? We've done so many treks.
Mice in 4 centuries, mice will just be kind of a blip on the radar of a method we used once to control our computers, just like those stupid little rubber erasers in the middle of my trackpad.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, you're right. By the way, did a little check in here.
Yes. Did we do it?
Did
we do it
not.
for Film Set?
No, we have not.
Okay.
We've done 5. We've done 3. We've done the motion picture.
We've done 2. We did Search for Wrath of Khan. I mean, we've really...
Have we done Wrath of Khan?
We've skated all around that big whale turd, and we haven't watched it yet, and I don't know what's the matter with us.
All right, we did do Wrath of Khan. So we've done everything except for Undiscovered Country.
Whoa.
We haven't done Undiscovered Country or 4. The Quest for Whales.
The Search for Whales.
Whatever it's called.
The undiscovered voyage to find whales.
Yeah, where we go find the whales and we make dumb cracks about mice as if we're
Is that
idiots.
really so really we've seen of all the TOS group Star Trek movies, we've seen them all except for 4, right?
4 in Undiscovered Country. 6, we haven't seen that.
I thought we did see
we also haven't done Generations, which is
Generations is kind of a halfy thing, but still, I mean,
but
it's
6 we definitely haven't done. That's the one where Christopher Plummer plays a Klingon lawyer, and
right.
yeah, it's
Ladies
interesting.
and gentlemen of the jury, I implore you, you're without honor.
He's got what looks like a metal patch on one eye, and
That's right. Clang? No,
Kang, I think.
Kang.
I think
yeah.
Kang, maybe Clang. And then Worf shows up, or Michael Dorn shows up as Worf's grandson. Or no, I'm sorry, Worf's grandpa. He would
Dice
be.
Wheel says he's a general, not a lawyer. A lot of people
thought
are
he was a
correcting
lawyer.
his son that he's not a lawyer, which is a bummer because my whole Atticus Finch routine is out the window now, unfortunately.
All right, I got that wrong too. But Worf's in there, and Worf's grandpa in there is a lawyer, and he's defending. I think he's the defendant for
All right.
Kirk and them.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, even if he's a general, pretty sure Kang was representing the prosecution, though, because he got up in the trial and was talking.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
maybe
I
he's
don't
a
think
witness.
we're crazy. Yeah, he prosecutes the case. There you go.
Call
See?
your first law witness.
I kind of like 6, if I'm honest. I think 6
Well,
is all right.
I think we need to watch it and see how well it holds up. So
Yeah.
4 and 6. We
4 and
need to,
6. Yep. We're on the evens, everybody. Evens. All right. Couple of quick things. Kim made me mad yesterday, and I want to find out if you guys think this is worthy of my anger. All right?
Okay. Wow.
It's a small
I'm already
thing.
taking Kim's side, but go ahead.
You've come into this fight knowing who you're going to back.
I've already got a dog in this fight.
It's like a presidential debate. It's like, go ahead and have your debate. I kind of know who I'm voting for, but go ahead and have your debate.
It's curled up in Kim's lap, but let's go. Let me hear your side anyway.
Sure. So here's how it went, and it's so petty, but Bob and Barry and Bobby Ann folks.
Wow, I think they're taking it back.
Bob and Barry Ann.
Bob and Barry Ann here on Gilligan's Island.
That's better than the rest. Anyway,
it is better, yes.
They were really, really nice to send some pizzas again.
Yes.
From Giganarcado Lalo's.
Lou Malnati's
in Chicago.
Lou Malnati's.
There you go. Just amazing pizza. I love them. To me, they're not even pizza. They're something on their own. They're just like this amazing.
That's right. They're
thing.
Lasagna with a crust, basically.
They're so good. Oh my gosh.
We almost, if it would have arrived earlier, it would have been dinner last night because we were on the fence about going to trivia. We were trying to decide. We were in the process. So we had invited a few people, hadn't heard back from any of them. We're like, all right, well, we're just going to stay home. Let's just have one of the pizzas because I see UPS is delivering Taste of Colorado or Taste of Chicago Lou Malnati's at some point tonight. So let's have that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
As we were waiting for the pizzas, like, it's still not going to show up. And I'm looking on the UPS thing. Your package is 20 stops away or something like that. All right, well, let's just order something in. We'll get the Greek place, order some Greek food. And just as we're in the DoorDash app getting ready to order, my uncle calls and says, oh, let's go to trivia. I'm up for it. Like, all right, well, we're going to trivia. So pizza's off the table. Greek is off the table. Let's go get some...
Trivia's on the table.
Let's go do some trivia.
Well, so ours got here, and Kim made it, and she did a cheese...
Oh, you guys had one last night.
Nice. Yeah, so we had a cheese one, and we had a... and we cooked the other, the sausage one, the one with the sausage disc.
The sausage disc,
yeah.
Yes.
It was great. Amazing as always.
That's actually the thing that it's in Voyager. Speaking of Star Trek, that sausage disc is mounted on the wall in Voyager so that other countries can put that on a turntable, listen to it, and hear prime numbers. It's great.
Wow. That's actually a very deep cut into Voyager. That's a really deep reference. Go watch Voyager. You'll get it.
Go watch Cosmos. Go watch Voyager. Go watch.
Yeah, you'll get it. So, anyways, it was great. No problems up to this point. Everything's wonderful, and all I can think of is, man, Barry and Bobby Ann, they're the best, and this food's amazing, and this is great. But we didn't eat all of it. Obviously, we ate, and the cheese one we make is Carter's here, and she doesn't eat meat, so we had the cheese one made, and we had one of those other ones made. And then when it was all said and done, if you put it back together to then fridge it up, so I'm going to have it tomorrow, there's about, I don't know, 80% of a full pizza available.
Right.
A combination.
Combined of the two remaining pizzas make an 80% pizza.
Yes. And I was so excited. I'm like, that's going in the fridge. That'll be lunch tomorrow. I cannot wait for this. I'm so excited for this. I love it. I'd eat it all now if I could, but that's a bad idea. I'm just going to, going to be a whatever. Next day comes, open the fridge. That'd be yesterday, I guess. No pizza in there. It's gone.
Oh, no.
Like, not even the container. It's not like there's less. It's just poof, gone. And I knew right where it was. I paid attention to what zone it was in. I was ready to get it.
You saw it go into the fridge.
Yes, I saw it go into the fridge, and also I went, well, there's no way either of the two people I live with here at the house, or the cat, or the two dogs.
Kim's not going to get up and eat 80%, like 80% of a Lou Malnati's pizza in the middle of the night.
Yeah, not at all. And so I check it. And I check and I look and I'm looking and I look in the trash. I'm like, maybe the trash has the little tin in there, and I can get some evidence about what happened here.
Sure.
Finally, I find Kim. She goes, what's up? And I go, what has happened to the pizza? Where is the pizza? And she says,
"Tell me, woman."
She says, oh, well, since they sent us like 3, I sent Nick home with the leftovers because he was there doing laundry the night before.
Aww.
and I was doing a show, so I didn't know.
Sure.
And so she said, "Yeah, I had Nick take it home. He was hungry and he, hadn't eaten all day or whatever, and whatever." So she's just being nice and shared it with Nick. I got all mad. I was like, "What? You can't take this pizza away from me!" Like I had all these plans for this. Like,
why didn't you
out.
check with me? Yeah.
And she looks at me and just shaking her hand. She goes, "You are a freaking child," and walked away from me. I said, "All right, that's fine."
I was gonna guess that like there was a neighbor who had fallen on some hard times and couldn't afford to grab some groceries, and Kim ran the extra pizza down to them. It was kind of a similar situation, though. I mean, it's Nick. He's selling
Nick.
boots. He's living in an apartment.
Yeah, but you're supposed to do it. He has a big promotion interview today. I'm pretty excited for him.
Oh, cool. I hope
he may manage this whole location, which is like a big deal for just this 20-year-old
awesome.
punk who's came in there fresh. But anyway, good luck, Nick. But here's the thing. Speaking of neighbors, we have new neighbors. The neighbors next door moved out for a year. It's this nice couple.
Okay.
They moved out for a year to rent their house to help pay off their student loan.
Oh.
They both have student loans.
Sure.
And this is how they're going to do it. So they got a year thing. This nice couple from Oklahoma just moved in. They were in Florida, then Oklahoma, and now here. Their company moves around a lot, I guess, so they have this sort of travel thing, and they only need it for a year. They have 2 dogs, 2 boxer, houndy, boxery dogs. I don't know what they're called.
Sure.
But I do know this. When one of them's been outside for what it deems a little too long, it goes... Oh my gosh, it's killing us. And my dogs are like, like as soon as they hear it, they lose their mind.
Well, yeah, your dogs already go off at the, have like a daisy chain situation going on if a fire truck goes by where they just keep triggering themselves.
Yeah, that may actually happen. And so yesterday on the show, I didn't make mention of it because we were talking to Tom or something, but they did yesterday during the show. I could hear them going, so stupid.
Oh no.
So stupid. All right. Well, let's clear our taste palette and play something from a listener.
Sounds good.
Proud patron Jesse wrote in.
Oh, Jesse. Awesome.
Yeah, Jesse says, "Hey Scott, before I laid my head down to rest tonight, that I bless you and the tadpole with a gift." Before he does that, he says, "I scrubbed through the Apple announcements today and captured all of Tim Cook's products.
Oh,
I have laced them
nice.
together for you and your TMS audience to enjoy. Hope you like it. See attached, proud patron Jesse." Okay, Jesse.
Okay. All right.
Let's see how this works. I'm going to hit play. I haven't actually heard it yet, so I've saved it for all of us. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome back to Apple Park. I am so glad you could join us today. Just last month, we were here to introduce some great new products. So let's get started with an exciting new product for the home we know you're going to love. When we approach designing products for the home, we focus on 3 key attributes, and we design our products to work better together. Wow, what an amazing day. It means so much to us to create products that make a difference in people's lives. Products that make things simpler, easier, and more enjoyable. Products that make things simpler,
Easier and more enjoyable.
Oh, that's got some fantastic production. Plus, I like that he isolated the context around the word products, where it almost seems like it's a seamless. All right, we're going to tell you about some products. Those were some great products.
What a great day we've had. Yeah, that was amazing. So that was really good, Jesse.
Love it. Awesome, Jesse.
You're encouraged to do that every time there's an announcement event and get as many Tim Cook products as you can get out of his face. We'd love that. That'd be great.
Jesse, send me an email with your mailing address. I'm going to send you something fun.
Oh, look at that. Physical prize just for being cool.
Just for being cool. I'm going to send you some products.
That's amazing. Yes, Shoujo Beat. She's just discovering where we got our products from.
Yes,
this is it.
That's where products come from.
Because you get Tim Cook. I mean, we blow it out of proportion, but it's still a very unique way of saying products. And he says it a lot, turns out. Because they have a lot of those to sell and move and sell you.
A lot of products.
A lot of products. One big circle to sell them in. Life is good. All right, Brian, tell me about Coverville, which I missed yesterday terribly. So what's going on with it? Is it tonight?
It's happening today. Van Halen tribute episode for Eddie Van Halen. So covers, of course, of things like Hot for Teacher, Ain't Talking About Love, Jamie's Crying, Running with the Devil, and, of course, Jump. the biggest
Jump.
hit by the band Van Halen.
Yeah.
Covers, I mean, you're going to hear stuff from the Gigolo Ants, the Bird and the Bee, of course, Lee Thompson, the Sea and the Sun, Aztec Camera, and even a cover by Van Halen themselves that seems like an appropriate way to close the episode. All this and more coming up today, twitch.tv/Coverville, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, the only time zone that matters, for the Van Halen cover story. And then after that,
Yeah.
Tina and I are taking some scissors and some cleaning products.
Oh, you're doing that today then? So you're doing it.
We're doing it. Tina's going to get on a FaceTime call with Aunt Barb, the nurse, Aunt Barb.
Yeah. Gonna
And
walk you
Aunt
through
Barb
it, eh?
Is going to walk us through. Basically, I mean, it's cut, tweeze, or maybe it's cut, tweeze, because I hope it's not cut, tweeze, cut, tweeze, because you don't accidentally want to tweeze the one that you didn't cut.
No.
Right?
No. Yeah. Keep that stuff straight.
Yeah, but I'm not so, I don't know. I'm most not concerned. Oh, MP 1977. So here's the deal. I cut my hand trying to catch a steak knife. Is really what it was. It was a long story. 2 Mondays ago. Listen to the episode.
Yeah.
So I had 3 stitches in my hand. Currently have a lovely pink wrap because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh,
so
look at you.
Doing a little pink wrap on there.
I thought it was more like, when Bruce Willis first put wraps on his feet after The Glass, they were white. But by the end of that movie,
right? This started out white. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's also the fact that we ran out of blue and red, and Tina grabbed the next one in the bag, which was pink, and so.
Hey, well, what a lovely happenstance. That worked out nice.
Exactly. So anyway, so the thing I'm worried about is not so much pain. It's the feeling of pulling a string through my hand like it's like I'm flossing the inside of my body.
Yeah.
Right?
Having done that, I don't like that sensation at all. It's weird.
No.
It's weird. It's tuggy.
No, that's the part I'm kind of dreading. Yeah, the tugging.
Yeah. There's like a tug feeling. There's like a pull that's just not natural. It won't feel natural. There's nothing you do in your life that's supposed to feel like this.
No,
so
exactly.
I feel for you.
I don't want tugging. I don't want pulling. I don't want anything.
Brian, it's the last thing Brian said in Vegas before shutdown, before we couldn't go there anymore. I don't want any tugging.
That's right.
I don't want any pulling.
Exactly.
Just want to
Need
watch.
A little tug. Gonna have a little tug tonight. A little rub and tug. Claire says, could you not have had dissolvable stitches? It was not even offered to me as an option. I did ask, and he says, nope, these are not the kind that dissolve, so you'll need to get them taken out in 2 weeks.
Usually those only happen with certain kinds of stuff. Like I think the more external things, they almost always do the removables. I don't know. That may not be true. I don't actually know. Mm-hmm. When I did my foot, they were this kind you have. They had to take them out.
Oh, they were the pull ones? Uh-huh.
And I think part of that was because they wanted to see it again and make sure everything was okay. You know what I mean?
Could be. Well, they're not going to see it.
Nope.
So,
I mean, unless you start bleeding profusely or something, it's 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I take the wrap off and change the bandage daily, and it's looking like it's healing. There's no weird redness around the whole thing that makes me think that it's infected. It still stings like an SOB every time it gets touched.
It's not gangrenous, as they say.
It's not gangrenous. There's no yellow dead skin around it or anything like that. So
you know what's making this worse? Me picturing your hand and everything.
Yeah.
Kim's rewatching Deadwood, so I'm watching some of it with her. I forgot about the whole sequence of episodes where Al Swearengen's going through the freaking kidney stone mess.
Oh, yeah.
Good gosh, dude. The times before proper medical options, just what the frick were we doing back then? Like, how did anyone live past 30 in the freaking Old West? I just don't know.
I know.
I guess most of them didn't. I guess everybody started dying off around 40 or whatever, but
Yeah.
If you think you're going through some pain today, think about the fake story of Al Swearengen getting his getting his stones
and
out.
The Kirkus says, why not just go back to the doctor? Well, the problem is that appointments are backed up to, they're more than 2 weeks out for non-emergency stuff. This would not be considered an emergency. Plus, I'd have a copay, and I don't want to pay a copay.
Right. Do this for free.
I'm cheap, and lazy.
Well, also, I just think this is practical. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's and both Nurse Liz and Aunt Barb both say, "Oh yeah, you can do this yourself. It doesn't need to be a big deal going to a doctor."
Have we consulted Dr. Tolbert in this regard at all? Have we?
Oh no, we haven't. We should. Let's get a third opinion in here.
Yep, Dr. Jerry Tolbert to a white paging phone. We have a question for you there, bud.
I love Claire from the UK. This is great. Dumb non-US person question: what is a copay? Oh, I know,
Oh,
right?
Lord.
Oh, if only.
A scam is what it is. So enjoy.
Welcome to the United States of American healthcare system.
It's poop. It's poop. Copays are a freaking racket.
Yeah, basically, it's a base amount that even if your insurance takes care of the rest of your cost for the doctor visit, you still have a set amount that you still need to pay the doctor for the visit.
Yeah, imagine going to a movie and the ticket's $14. Let's say you're in a market where it's expensive, and they say, "All right, that'll be $14," and then you say, "Okay, thanks," and then they say, "Well, hold on, you also need to have your copay." Well, what does that mean? Well, it's just it's an extra $10 on top of that. Well, why? Well, because just because. That's basically it.
Yeah. Your car's under warranty, so this repair today is going to be no charge. Oh, awesome! Thank you. Can I drop it off now? Yep, that'll be $50.
Yeah. They're saying no in the chat room. What is it then? What's wrong?
Well, it's not like paying extra on the movie ticket you're already paying for. It's like,
okay, fine. It's even worse then because
it is worse
you pay
than that.
for
Right,
insurance
exactly.
so that you're insured against something, and then when that thing happens, the insurance should pay for it, not the extra on top money too.
Right, exactly.
They are not Dice Tomato. You will not defend copays with me today. It will not happen. I promise you.
I know. Dice Tomato's like, I kind of like copay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Just based on his other reviews that we get on stuff.
I like throwing them an extra $35. It's like a tip.
Right.
Great.
It ensures that they do a good job.
Yeah, F that. All right. Well,
Yes.
good luck with this. And you're not going to stream it or film it or, everything is content, but you don't have to, Are you going to not do that?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could. The problem is, where do we do it? I guess we could do it here. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Oh my gosh, I just realized the example I should have used for how copays work. Here it is.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Google Stadia, streaming video game service. They charge you 15.
Why don't you use an example of something that somebody actually has, Scott?
I know this is gonna be hard to relate to. It's like Scotty trying to figure out a mouse on a computer. So
the Atari Jaguar. It's a great example. He'll stick with me. The Virtual Boy.
What was that Apple console they had for a hot 5 seconds?
The Pippin. The Apple Pippin.
Oh my gosh, the freaking Pippin. Fool of a toque. Anyway. So
a new product we're going to be announcing today. We're really excited about the Pippin.
So anyways, here's how you do it. Stadia, you pay a monthly fee to have the right to play on Stadia. But then you also have to buy games on top of that. That is a freaking ripoff.
It's like, here's what it's like. It's like paying for Disney Plus, right? I've got Disney Plus. I've got all this content that I can watch and stream. Oh, Mulan? There's a copay for Mulan?
Right, exactly. And iCore is saying more like paying for Netflix and also paying for each show you watch. No, that's exactly what I'm saying, iCore.
Yeah,
that's what Stadia makes you do. You don't get to just... You use the service, but then you have to buy a game on the service. Even if you own it somewhere else, you're just going to play it. I freaking hate it.
There you go. The American healthcare system is like Google Stadia.
There you go. That's why we can't have a proper conversation in D.C. about this. They don't know the right comparison to make.
They don't
Get
know.
in there.
They don't know.
Get in there, one of my dumb senators, and get it done. All right.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Moving on. Let's do some news. You want to do news? Let's do news.
Sure.
All right, here you go.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go take my vitamins. Your news has upset me greatly.
It's time for us to do the news, and it's brought to you by...
This segment is brought to you by the YouTube channel Movies with Jenna. That's all one word, by the way. I have always loved watching movies, says Jenna, going to the theater and watching them at home with friends. I get extremely into what I'm watching, so my friend suggested a YouTube channel because, well, I just can't help myself but to react. So be prepared, because I love to talk, yell, get scared, throw blows. That's why I don't go see movies with Jenna. Very furiously at the air, laugh, and sometimes even cry. Join me all month long in October as we celebrate Halloween with spooky movies and we begin the start of our 4th season. I'm just kidding. I will absolutely visit Movies with Jenna on YouTube and subscribe.
That's right. You can get there even quicker with tinyurl.com/movieswithjenna if you'd prefer.
It's right there. Yes.
Yeah, either way, get you there.
Message to the host. So I'm not supposed to read that either.
Nope. I took that out, see.
You did, I know,
Yeah.
so that I wouldn't stumble over it again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny that it was even in there. Let's see. It's like reading next page when you're doing a movie script.
Or the Oscars. Brad, da-da-da-da-da, Melissa, oh, I'm not supposed to read that part.
That's good stuff. All right. An engineer figured it out. Finally, we now have the world's first real-life, actual, functioning, retractable Star Wars lightsaber. Ooh. Now, I would argue this isn't a Star Wars lightsaber because that implies brand ownership. It's not. This was made independently by Canadian James Hobson. He is known as the Hacksmith. Sounds like somebody Bill would tell us about or something.
Totally, yeah. Bill will be sending us this video at some point, I'm sure.
Yep. Says it has a following of 10 million subscribers on YouTube and works on turning popular science fiction items into reality. Inspired by his love of Star Wars, he has previously made various lightsabers, but wanted to produce the world's first retractable plasma-based version. So big deal.
Thing.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a little like kind of a Kylo Ren chaos kind of factor going on here.
Yeah, like sputtery.
Yeah. Which I have to admit I like. That's one of the things I like about the new Star Warses was Star Warses.
Star Warses
was the fact that they made his thing so gnarly. But here, let me pull this up so the chat can see it. Here you go, chat.
By the way, he totally ripped off the Stark logo. I'm just saying.
What, on his chest there?
No, his Hacksmith Industries in the bottom left corner.
Oh, I missed that.
It's the Stark Industries.
Oh, nice. That's actually I kind of respect that for dumb reasons.
Yeah.
Here's part of the video.
Because he hacked it, right? He hacked
it. He's a hacker. He's a hacker fellow. One of them hacker fellows.
Yes.
I'm gonna hit play. Oh my gosh, YouTube! Why are you being so dumb? All right, here it is. Look at that thing. Wait, no, that's a regular one. That's a fake one.
If you jump to 12 minutes, like about 12 and a half minutes, he's got the thing turned on and he's futzing with the colors and
all right, 12 and a half. Here we go. Let's go to 12. Oh, he has it all sectioned. That's cool. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
How's that possible? Well, I guess you'd find out in the video. And then he uses different...
it's basically like a gas. It's almost like a gas burner kind of thing.
Yeah, but it just stretches
but it's
out
just
so
that
far.
long.
Oh, that's really rad. So I assume at some point he gets this thing like in his hand. Oh yeah, here it is toward the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so badass.
That just looks like so much can go wrong, and he's not wearing nearly enough protective gear.
No,
I like that the backpack. He has to have the backpack though, because that's where all this gas is coming.
Yeah,
from.
that's the thing. This is like early days of like video cameras. You had to carry around that thing with you.
Yeah,
oh, that's so cool. Gosh dang it, that's so cool.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, he has this custom backpack, travels to the device in a long tube, making the build more akin to an early generation proto-saber than the weapons used currently.
Right through a door. Look at that.
You got to start somewhere, though, man.
Jeez.
Right? We got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
This Hobson's guy, too, looks like he benches like 450. It's freaking ripped. Oh my gosh.
Really cool.
Well,
nice.
anyway.
All right.
Go check that out. And
we just watched the origin story of our first supervillain.
Yep. He even has the look. That's the smile and the beard and the Jesus hair.
Yeah.
He's trouble.
Yeah.
He's trouble. Never trust, and we all trust Canadians like innately now. We just think, oh, they're all nice up there in Canada.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with them. They're never going to do anything crazy. And now this guy will be the one. Oh, we're screwed. We're watching it happen. It's unfolding before our eyes. Wake up, sheeple. Wake up. Chicken nuggets in the news.
Sure.
I don't know if you're a fan of the chicken nuggets, but you might be a fan of this one. A chicken nugget was launched into space to celebrate Iceland's 50th anniversary.
Oh, that totally makes sense. I see how one has to do with the other perfectly.
Also, I guess I'm a little surprised. I don't have a lot of Icelandic knowledge, okay? So I'll admit that right up front here.
Here's how you keep track. Iceland is green, Greenland is icy.
That's all I remember from high school.
And Iceland has Bjork.
Apparently. But apparently also Iceland has only been in existence as a entity for 50 years.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. 50 years.
I didn't know
that's
that
what
either.
what they're celebrating here. Is they're shooting this nugget into space to celebrate.
Oh, yeah, because it's in the actual news article that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's an odd thing to do, though, celebrating your 50th anniversary with a nugget. So let's read on.
Okay.
Supermarket giant Iceland. What? Oh.
Wait a minute. Are you sure it's just not a store called Iceland?
It is a store called Iceland. It totally is. It's not the country at all. Oh, I didn't. This was one I pulled on headline alone and didn't read the rest of it.
I love it. Yes, Iceland
Oh my
settled in the
gosh.
9th century. Commonwealth of legislature was formed in year 930.
Should we just retire the show now and just say we're done?
By the way, I wonder if that supermarket's really green inside.
It's so stupid. All right, well here's the deal. Supermarket giant Iceland, which I've never heard of. That's how little Iceland knowledge I have.
I've never. Now this starts to make sense.
If this said Kroger, I would have gotten it. Okay, I would have gotten it.
Piggly, where's the country Piggly Wiggly, Brian?
90% of the time when I pull stories, I read the headline, read the main text, and go, okay, this is perfect for the show. This is one where I went, chicken nugget, space, Iceland. Those guys are weird, and I just pulled it. Didn't even think about it.
Thing to do. Yeah.
Lesson learned. Anyway, they're sending a big chicken nugget to space. The breaded snack took under 2 hours to reach 110,000 feet. Or is that?
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's 33,528 meters above the Earth. One of the retailer's most popular items. It was launched into the stratosphere, temperatures of minus 60 Celsius. That's about 75 Fahrenheit, or 76 minus Fahrenheit. From a location close to the company's office headquarters in Deeside, North Wales. So that's why I haven't heard of it. It's some freaking Wales-based.
Right. It's a UK. It's a UK frozen food. Frozen food, not manufacturer, like a supermarket, basically specializing in frozen food.
Okay.
You know, we can almost see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
We saw Gravity. This thing is going to be in space. It's going to get some momentum, some trajectory, and then it's going to whip around the Earth a bunch of times, gain some speed, and then go right through the ISS.
Yep. You're right. And George Clooney will go whee off into the nowhere.
Save yourself, Sandra!
I'm out.
See you in Ocean's 8!
I won't actually show it up in it, but there'll be references to me. Bye. I mean, she's his sister in that, right? Or something like that?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget.
Cousin or sister or something, yeah.
Yeah. I actually kind of like that movie.
He shows up as a photograph on her desk, I think.
There you go. Nailed it. Hold on. I thought I heard a voice that wasn't yours. Nope.
The leopard.
I think it was a dog. Something barked or made a sound. It sounded like a
dogs
bird.
have the voice of a dog.
Weird. All right, moving on to by the way, let's see, peak altitude. It then headed back towards Earth at 200 miles per hour. Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Then it had a parachute deploy around 62,000 feet to enable a safe landing for the Nugget. Let's see, is there a picture of this?
That
Nugget?
thing could reach terminal velocity.
Is there a photo on this link?
There's a photo. There's a clip art photo of a chicken nugget hovering over the Earth, but I'm guessing that's not it. Now, do I have to accept your damn cookie policy, the Irish News?
Oh yeah.
Yes, you do. If you want to read our content, you must accept our cookies.
If you want shit to do with what we're saying today, you'll have to accept it. Let it into your life.
Okay, this is actually. I thought this was clip art. No, this is actually a real photo of the chicken nugget.
That's the Nugget?
I think it is. I think it's like they had a little camera, like a little GoPro attached to it.
Is it a gigantic Nugget?
Oh,
no,
dude,
it's a
this is
normal-sized
actually.
Nugget. Okay. Oh wow.
This video is actually great.
Oh, look at this.
It does not. How is the? It looks like 3 fishing lines.
Yeah.
2 fishing lines going through a drilled hole in a chicken nugget. How is that thing being held by that?
Yeah. Also, look at that.
Like
look at the curvature of the Earth, flat earthers. What do you think of that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, what do you think of that?
chicken nugget? Why don't you?
Yeah. Whoa! Look at the shadows on this thing. I mean, it looks cold
Wabbit
now.
Magic says fake.
Is it fake? Has it all been faked?
It feels like it could be, right? I mean, there's
shouldn't-
no way that that fishing lines would be able to support this thing when the speed is going so high. That thing would there'd be so much friction on that chicken nugget. The fishing line would cut right through it.
Also, it's hanging like it's got. Look how it moves. It's hanging.
Oh,
Like
I don't
gravity.
know. Now I'm looking at it going back to Earth. I don't know. It might be real.
I don't know what to think.
Dang it.
Yeah, everything is fake. You're right. Everything in the world is fake. You're right. You should say that should be our default stance. However,
it says no speed. It's on weather balloons. So really, just hoisted slowly up into the atmosphere. Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, they didn't rocket it up there or anything.
Took 2 hours. There you go. 2 hours to get, as you said when you read it earlier, read on Airline, that it took 2 hours to reach 110,000 feet.
All right. Well, I feel like that's
I was paying
real.
attention to the nugget. I was focused on the nugget, Scott. I
I'm
wasn't
good.
focused on the time or
Look,
the
that nugget is hard to not focus on. I get it. Look at that thing. I'd eat it right now. I'd eat that nugget now.
Yeah.
That looks like a good nugget. These aren't bad nuggets.
Probably
These
got
aren't.
cooked on re-entry.
If I've learned anything from all the space movies I've seen, it's going to be a nice crispy cooked nugget by the time it's
That's right, exactly.
by the time it splashes down in the ocean. Okay.
All right.
Moving on to this story. We got a man who farted. All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man who farted in an Uber ends up in court.
Well, let's double check this. Let's
Nice.
make sure it's an actual Uber, the car, and not Uber, the small German village.
This one I did read. I think we're
You
okay.
did research.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're okay with this one.
right,
Breaking
good.
wind in the back of an Uber taxi cost a man a suspended jail term. Jeez. I don't like that line though. That makes it sound like he had one and they took it away. Do you see what I'm saying? It cost him a suspended jail time. That's
Oh,
like saying
right. Exactly.
It cost you
We're
the
going to take
championship.
away your jail term.
Right. It's like, you tripping on the ball cost you the championship. That doesn't mean you got the championship. These guys have.
Your Honor, it was silent but deadly.
I implore you.
I implore you.
But the repercussion for the taxi driver was that he has returned to his native Bulgaria. I was an Uber taxi driver till I farted real loud, and then they kicked me out. I don't know how they talk
Well,
in Bulgarian.
no. So the driver. Oh no, the reaper. So the. Oh, I need more details.
All right,
Scott, 'cause
drunken-
The driver has returned to Bulgaria. Was the driver the one that farted, or
Well,
was
here
it the
it
passenger?
is. Drunken James Mallet let rip as Alexander Bonchev was driving him to Chasers nightclub in Kingswood.
Sounds like a strip club.
Yeah.
Chasers.
Chasers, Kingswood. Bristol Crown Court heard it was the final straw for the cabbie who, after suffering abuse from other fares, told Mallet to get out of his vehicle. The court heard when Mallet he rained blows on the driver.
Oh.
After
Well,
he
there's a lot more going on.
after the driver or the other guy blew reins on him. Let's see. Was knocked down, who knocked down Mallet in self-defense. Who's Mallet?
Mallet's the
Okay, he's the
passenger.
farter. Okay. Mallet, 35 of Kingswood, pled guilty to assault, occasioning actual harm. That's a weird thing to. That's weird. The British, man. What are they doing?
British. Jeez.
On November
Occasionally.
30th last year. Looking for today's top stories in one place. Oh, this is the article. Good, copy that.
Message to the hosts.
The recorder. Oh, wait. Let's see. Okay, they handed him 6 months in jail, suspended for 18 months, and ordered him to pay £500 compensation to the 120 hours paid work. She told Mallet, quote, Mr. Bonchev sustained a broken finger. He was unable to work, lost his job with Uber, lost his accommodation, and lost his car. All because he was doing his job that evening, she says.
Right. So the guy farted, but really it was more the attack.
Yeah, that's what did it. Burying your headline.
Get out of
once
my
again.
vehicle, farter!
I'm assuming he sounds like 70s era Sean Connery.
Well, he's Bulgarian, so I don't know what that accent is.
Right.
How would you? How
Sean
would you
Connery
do?
could do a Bulgarian accent.
Could he?
It's gonna be the Eastern European. Get out of my car, you farter!
You farted. Now you say, "Get out of my cars." That's what he'd say.
ever lose your...
You ever lose your car farts? Don't fart in my cars.
Don't fart in my car.
You know, every day that goes by is a day that I'm worried to bring in to hear that Sean Connery is no longer with us.
I know.
He's very old, and I'm worried about him. Didn't he just hit 90 or something? It's like 90.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's pretty old. By
tell
my count.
It's pretty old.
It's pretty old. Seems like an old...
He did just turn 90 at the end of August, yeah.
Okay. So just keep, just...
Take care of yourself.
Keep whoever's on top of this, just keep
Mask
around.
up. If you're around Sean Connery, mask up. Wash your hands a lot.
Exactly. Because you're under the King's Secret Service or whatever.
Right.
Let's take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendy with an I will be here. And that's exciting because we haven't talked to her in a week. And it'll be good to talk to her. So we're going to do that in a bit when we come back. After that, though, more stuff. So stick around. Brian will have a song here, though, in the meantime. What are we playing?
I do. As a matter of fact, let's look at life.
And now, in cooperation with police and federal law enforcement departments throughout the United States, the only national program that brings you authentic police case histories.
Stick a pin in his bum, eh?
Up, down, up, down. This is the morning stream.
And we're back, everybody.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that. That's something my son
cool,
would
right?
listen to. Yeah, he loves that kind of stuff. It's not really
Kenny
mumble.
Hoopla is the artist, all one word, Kenny Hoopla, and the song's called Lost Cause, brand new single.
Seems like Hoopla's probably not his real last name, is it? It's
Probably not. I don't even know if Kenny's his real first name, really, honestly.
Yeah, who the hell knows, honestly. Okay, we're going to give Wendy a call, and she's showing offline, so that might be my cue to pause for a moment. Yes, okay. I'm going to pause for a moment.
Oh, so.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
It would be bad for me to do it, but I'd almost wish I could record that browser tab and watch it again at some other time afterwards, because I would pay money for the DVD or a not DVD, but I'd pay money for a digital recording of that concert as well to watch.
Brian's bringing DVDs back, yo.
Yes, exactly. Bringing DVDs back.
So Wendy is now online, although no answer. So let's see.
That's a problem.
It is a bit of a problem. She might be, who knows, struggling with the phone. Let's see. Wait, who do I hear?
Hello.
I think the boy.
There she is.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Sorry, I forgot Discord wasn't open, so I just was like, I guess they're not calling. And then
I figured it was something like that. No big deal.
Do you have days like that?
Yep. That's the life we live right now. That's where we are. It's what we're up to. And it's good to have you here, though. It's my sister, Wendy, everybody. You know why? Because I know this.
Everyone knows it's Wendy.
She comes on Thursdays. We do free therapy for people who have questions, and we do it since 2011. My gosh. We've been at it for almost 10 years. Can you believe it?
What are we going to do on our 10th anniversary if we make it that?
I don't know, man. I don't even know if we make it that far.
I mean, we have a mashup that we've been told is amazing that we're going to be listening to at some point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you'll be in those, I'm sure.
So
You're gonna.
I'm sure cat and chicken porn will make it into those.
Oh yeah, cat and chicken porn everywhere you look. Honestly.
Honestly, that's so gross. Please, no one make cat and chicken porn and in a visual form. I don't want to.
You don't actually want to see real, actual cat and chicken porn
for that.
I'm afraid to do it, so I won't. But if I searched for that, I'll bet something exists.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, of course it does.
What is it? Rule 34? What is
Rule 42, I
42,
thought? I don't know.
Rule 34.
Oh, it can't be 42. 42 is already taken.
Yeah, 42 is taken. Well, it's not a rule. It's just the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So we can't use that.
Got you.
But anyway, you lose track of what nerd things are the proper ones to use. Anyway, so today we won't even try. Today, instead, we're going to read an email from a listener who hails from Australia, all the way down under. You might be familiar. Wendy, have you been to Australia? I can't remember.
No, I want to though.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
That'd be a cool place to go.
For sure.
Brian's been like twice or at least once.
Just once to Australia, twice to the UK.
There you go. I couldn't remember.
Have you been to New Zealand? Because that's actually my real dream.
Only the airport in New Zealand.
Oh.
We all want to
Did
live
you
there.
run?
It was lovely.
Did you run to find Bag End while you had a layover?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not in Terminal C.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bill Duran.
Oh, that's exactly where I went looking for it. I did not find it in Terminal C.
Bill Duran on the show. He's been there a couple times and toured all that
for
stuff.
The whole Weta thing, right?
Yeah, went down to the Bag End, saw all the Hobbit holes, and got to walk around all that tour stuff and loved it.
Oh my gosh, I would die.
I know. That's really cool. Hey, so let's read this email. This is from C in Australia. I'm not going to use their real name because I don't know, just don't want to. Because who knows if they really want me to. It says here, do you have any tips for anxiety from transitioning from working from home to going back to the office? Ooh, now we're on the other side, or not we're on the other side, but we're looking at the other side of this whole conundrum we've all had, which is...
We can see the other side as a faint glow on the horizon.
Yeah, and some people are, having to or otherwise going back. I can tell you right now, my son-in-law, Dylan, is working at an office every day, but the way it works right now is he's the only one in there, and they have to lock the doors. They can't have anyone walking in, so they have these strict rules about that. But it's still a thing where he's got to go, commute to the office, get in there. That whole process is back for him, as it probably is for a bunch of people. So he says, here's some background. I work in a densely packed office in Australia. Thankfully, we have COVID mostly under control here, and we are being directed to work to return to the office because they believe the threat of an outbreak is low/non-existent, and the government push to get us out buying coffees and lunch to save businesses in our city centers. By the way, I talked to somebody from Australia yesterday on the Daily Tech News Show with Tom, who said they had a total of 5 cases that they knew about in, what's the biggest city?
Sydney?
No, the other one.
Melbourne.
Auckland?
Melbourne, Australia. That's the biggest one.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That's New Zealand.
It's all right.
Melbourne.
They love it. This is New Zealand. The Kiwis and the Aussies love it when you mix up their two places.
Oh,
they
totally do. Send your emails to me. That's I'm going to get one from Lucy from Oklahoma. I just know it.
But I heard him say that they've narrowed down 5. They know where they happen and where they came from. And
they've narrowed it down. I don't know if it's there or I forgot, or was it New Zealand that they narrowed it down to a doorknob?
Yeah, a doorknob and a trash can handle. Yeah, for the 2
turns
cases
out,
or whatever.
If you believe in science, you can do things.
Yeah, contact tracing is awesome, dude. It's very.
It really is.
Yeah.
There was if you added up, I think it was Thailand, New Zealand. There was like 3 or 4 countries. You add them all up, they had something like 20 cases total, which is. There was 34 cases in the White House alone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're more in the White House than there were in those places. It's so stupid.
Oh, bless.
We got to be better. We have to do better. Anyway, so he goes on to say, I started working from home around the end of March and haven't been back since. Since then, I feel more connected to my colleagues. We are all distributed interstate, and we're using Zoom a lot. Way more productive and way happier. I suffer from social anxiety and general anxiety, so being in my own space with no commute and being able to control my social interactions, i.e. not having a random turn up at my desk to breathe on me, is great. I've also managed to land 2 promotions somehow during that time. My imposter syndrome is a whole other matter there, LOL. It says also one of the lines work is trotting out is that, quote, it's important for everyone's mental health to socialize, see and hang out with your work family. He rolls his eyes here in parentheses. This is literally the opposite for me, as even the thought of going back is affecting my mental health. But maybe it will be good for me to step out of my safe zone. I don't know. Now we are being told to go back to work. I'm not really coping with the idea of, and then he gave me a list. Increased risk to myself and my partner of bringing back COVID to home. Number 2, being pushed out of my comfortable and productive bubble. Number 3, heading back to a densely packed office with people I don't really want to see. 4, just really being anxious about it all. And 5, I'm pretty sure if I complain too much or buck against the trend, it'll impact my career path, as I won't just be complying with what we're told. So, says, do you have any tips, strategies, or thoughts on dealing with a return to normal when things aren't that normal? Thanks heaps. C in Australia. Well, what do we?
Wish. Can we visit him? What's
Yeah.
his name?
Well, let's go
Yeah.
stay with Heaps.
Look, if
We're not even allowed.
if C
right?
doesn't want even to be around his office mates, I don't think he's going to want us visiting.
Right, but also I don't
He
even
doesn't
think
want a bunch of
we're.
Americans who
Aren't we still
Right.
banned?
who
We're
for the first time we washed our hands in March. That's when we all bought soap for the first time.
Right, and apparently toilet paper.
Where are we banned
Yeah,
from? We're still banned from places, aren't we?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
most other
For
countries.
good reasons.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Okay. This is definitely interesting, right? So think about, and I was thinking about this when I read his message of the transition initially, right? So March hits, at least in America, people were on top of it earlier than us, but like stuff starts shutting down, just how it felt and the adjustment in expectations. And then just the other weekend, we were standing in a long line to get ice cream, and there's 100 people 6 feet apart, and everyone's got masks, and there's just this moment where I went, oh my gosh, look at us. Like, this is real. Yeah, like
we're assimilating. Yeah.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Yeah.
We're just all wearing masks and getting ice cream. It was freezing too. That was extra weird. But just a bit of the adjustment of reality. Maybe it's like the Matrix. You're getting flashes of things or something. But this idea that you adjusted in one direction, and now in his case, there is some adjusting back. And I think to some extent, there are things that might be permanently different for people. Maybe for some companies. I know there's a lot of people who've started to look at like, hey, it turns out we didn't need this, or this is good for us that we do need, or, there's some evaluation. And so that was actually what I would suggest that he does, is he sits down and maybe gets someone to do this with him, his partner or something, where you sort of brainwash. That's not the word. Brainstorm. Thank you. That's not it. Brainwash. Brainstorm. I'm so tired. You brainstorm. You brainstorm ideas of like, okay, what do I want to keep that I've had?
Yeah.
Because you maybe don't have to go completely back to the same grind or mentality. Like there's maybe physically you have to be there, right? Sometimes there's just no choice in that matter. But what are some of the things you really want to hang on to? And it may be that you do request some differences, right? So maybe it's that you say, hey, I'm my most productive to your bosses or whatever. I'm my most productive working from home. And I'm wondering if I could do that Monday and Fridays, or, some version of like, go through all the things, like make your own case to yourself first, rather than the fear I'm not gonna do it right, or they're not gonna like what I say, or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get in those modes of just like, oh no, I don't. Rather think of it as a case of strength. Like, look what happened. I had 2 promotions. I'm the most happy and productive I've ever been. You might want to talk to people above you and say, I get it. You need me to buy coffee and sandwiches. I'll come downtown for lunch 3 days a week and I'll buy all the sandwiches you guys want me to. Or some version of make your case for your strengths for yourself first, and brainstorm that. And then, think about extending that in your you can't be alone, right? Like that's another piece to this, is maybe there's others who feel similarly, or there's a version of somebody's like, I got to be in the office and their best work is done there.
That was
Great.
my first thought.
Let's
Is
have
there's
them by
probably somebody somewhere saying exactly the same thing he is, or like you said, they're having the exact opposite. The anxiety's happening now, and they can't wait to be back in their safe place, which was their commute, their
work.
office, their crowded space,
Yeah,
their noise.
right.
Which is what makes this complicated. Nobody's the same.
It's true. And I think it's sort of the age-old extrovert introvert binary, which isn't exactly accurate, but that idea of like it depletes some to be around people, and it sounds like with this social anxiety, it's energy sucking and depleting, right?
Yeah.
So he's less productive. It's just the facts for him. And so maybe that requires having a conversation. Typically bosses, and I don't, he didn't say who his superiors are, that, they're like, no, get in here and let's all chat and laugh. That's really important, because often this happens in all relationships. This happens all the time, is what works for me is I like to think that's what's going to work for everyone else. So I like to, I don't know if you've been bossed around on the internet before about your life choices, or, anything you think or do. And it's because the other person believes they have the answer. And it's this very strange thing we sort of have as humans. Like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to do it this way. Well, it's because it works for us. So if an extrovert's in charge of the company, well, there's going to be a whole lot of, we need to do trust falls and we need to hang out a lot and do some of those things. And for some people, that's exactly what they need. And for others, it's sort of torture. So recognizing you're not good, bad, or anything. It's just how are you thriving? And I think that's been interesting for a lot of folks to realize they really do thrive in a different setting. And then there are a lot of people who are not thriving. This is not the setting that they thrive in. So is there some future version of life that can accommodate a little both? I don't know. But I think Australia should be the place that decides and figures that out for us.
Yeah, I do too. They're cool. They can be the test bed for it. They're just a big prison colony the Queen set up a long time ago. So just, use the resources you got.
I think they love that too. They love hearing that.
But the idea that the entire state of Melbourne has, 2 or 3 cases and they've traced where they are and they're isolated. Like I would be, it's hard to say. Like everyone's experience is different. Here we had 1,500 cases in Salt Lake County like 2 days ago. New cases. And I'm like, oh, geez, what the frick are we doing?
In one day.
Yeah, in one day, which was not great. And Utah's never been the top of the list of terrible stuff, but we've always floated around the middle, and it bugs me that we're there at all. And so hearing that and then hearing what he's dealing with, obviously I go, well, man, if there are only 2 cases in the whole country, I'd be back in the office tomorrow. That'd be great. That sounds like you guys are basically normal. Let's go. But that's not his, he's in a different place. Like he's in a place where maybe the national culture is, look, 2 to 5 cases are too many. You know what I mean? Like that's we are failing if we have 5 cases. So we need to fix that. And so that's just a different mindset than over here. I feel like people are just like, just herd immunity, just get in there and blow through it. And ironically, your old stomping grounds of Sweden tried that, and that didn't work out great. And
quick, can we just say, there has never been a case where herd immunity works on a novel virus. It only doesn't kill everyone with a vaccine.
Right.
Like we don't have any historical data ever that has worked.
Right.
It works with the flu or other bugs because we have people it's not novel, right? And it's not constantly changing. It just drives me crazy. I love Sweden with my heart, but come on, you guys.
Yeah, that was a weird move for them. But
they tried. They thought. I don't know. No one knew.
They tried something new. You know what? In a way, it's good that someone tried something like that so that we could all have this example to say, all right, well, that failed. So let's not ever do that. Although I'm not sure we learned. But anyway.
Yeah, we don't learn.
We don't learn.
That's not in our wheelhouse to learn from things.
No.
But you're right. Like if he's still concerned, there's a different place there. But I don't read that and think of it as, I think of that as one of the elements. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm stoked to have COVID as an excuse not to have a social thing that I wish I didn't have to be a part of or something, right? Like there's some stuff there that I think a lot of people, I mean, I don't know, you're kind of like, oh, I can get out of that thing. Sweet.
Yeah. The pressure to do things that you like, there are always things that, like, whether they be get-togethers or some sort of family thing or something where you're just like, oh, one of these are just so not, they're all, what do they call it? The road to Abilene or whatever it is. These are those moments of like, nobody really wants to do what we're doing, but here we are doing it because we're just forcing ourselves through it. Those have been nice to avoid.
Everybody else wants to do it.
Yeah. Those have been nice to avoid. But like the common stuff or the things that just about, normal life, like I just want to take the kids to the mall or I want to go do this or whatever. Yeah. Like those things, people are tired. They are exhausted. They're sick of waiting. Here's the problem though. When I was a kid and if I was sick of doing the dishes and okay, I always had this problem where if I didn't do my chores, mom wouldn't let me get ice cream or whatever. Okay. And I was a terrible like chore getter doner. I'd get going in it, but I get lost in it. So there's this like family legend story about me doing the dishes when I was 8. And I started them and it was probably 15, 20 minutes worth of dishes. 6 hours later, I'm still in the kitchen and I'm making bubble shapes and sculptures and screwing around in there.
Yeah,
so I'm not even like
doing anything but the dishes.
Anything but the dishes. And so back then, it would be like me going, well, why don't I get ice cream? Well, because you have to do the dishes first. Well, I want the ice cream without the job. And I feel like right now we want the COVID-free without the work it takes to be COVID-free.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's so frustrating because honestly, like, imagine this 12 days where everybody in this country, and I know it's 300 people and scale makes it hard. Okay, I get it. If this is a house with 20 people, you could do it. But 300,
do you mean 300
million?
300 million, 400 million people.
Don't interrupt him. He's on a roll. He's on a roll.
Did I say 300 people? I meant 300 million.
You said 300 people.
I
yes.
meant 3 million.
I knew what you meant. 300 million. Yeah.
I meant 300 million. So if we could just get everybody to do 12 days of true actual isolation from each other, it would die and be gone. Like, it's so mind-boggling to me that we can't find a way to do that. And so because you can't account for everything and there's always outliers, well, then contact tracing and other methods, those kick in to sort of take care of your periphery. But the core thing, like that one 12-day moment, which we've had since March, many opportunities of 12-day moments to do this. And we just keep shitting the bed on all the opportunities.
Do you know who could have done this is Sweden.
Yeah, they could have done this.
I got a pamphlet in the mail when we lived there that I kept and I will keep for life because it is so funny. It is what to do if there's a crisis. And the very first thing it says is, if someone is saying that we are going to give in and help the bad guys or the enemies, don't believe them. Like they need instructions to just like, don't follow. You got to guys. Here's the stuff, because they're just so good at like, yeah, we're told to do that. We'll do that. Right. And not all of them, of course, but I can guarantee you, if they said we're doing 12 days, they could have done it. Yeah. That would have been a great experiment. Dang it.
It would have been a good experiment.
Didn't New Zealand essentially do this? They just said, everybody freeze. They got rid of it. I don't know.
But the way we get over here, and chat room's like, well, there'd still be infection. I know. That's why I said there'll be outliers. There's always outliers, and you try to do the best you can on that periphery.
Somebody to work. You need some people to work at the essential services and things like that, just in case.
Right. You're still going to have a bunch of cases. You're going to have people that are infected. You're going to have someone with a complicated case that took months to deal with. Like, whether they're infectious or not is not even the issue here. What I'm saying is, yes, all of those complications exist. But if there was a true concerted effort for 12 or to 14 freaking effing days, we'd have it. We'd have it under control is what I'm saying. I wouldn't wake up to hearing 500 or 1,500 new cases in Salt Lake City because a bunch of Utah County people got together and said, whatever, it's a hoax. It's all bullshit anyway. Yeah! I don't know why.
My sister's wedding is Saturday. I can't miss that.
Yeah,
like
can't miss
150 people all getting together.
So anyway, I shouldn't get so irritated by it, but I just feel like that's the trick, and we'd be okay. Back to this dude's email though.
Which is so far related to what we're saying. Okay, going back to him sitting down, like writing out the strengths here. I think there's value in getting it outside of him, like what he cares about. What is his value here? And he mentioned imposter syndrome. So this may not be so easy for him to stop and go, here's how I thrive best, or right. And I think, when you have a good manager who tends to be able to see like what is your best self and how to make sure we work to have that happen, that makes everything a lot easier. And maybe you do have that kind of manager, you just haven't asked. I don't know. But get clear what you need to thrive, and it may still be required that you've got to go in.
Yeah.
And so ask if you can go in slowly. Can I come in once next week and do one day, and then film yourself so you can show them how unproductive you are? No, I mean, like, if it was data driven, they'd have your whole company stay home if it was based on productivity, right?
Right.
But there is the reality of how an economy thrives, and we want to help local businesses, and we want to make sure others are doing okay. And so there is, what does that look like? You can be creative here. I think we've been very used to certain ways the world works, and then it stopped, and now it's lots of other weird things have happened, and it's anybody's game who wants to invent the next version of reality. It's fine. What is your version for you? And I mean, I just really encourage you to take some control or initiative of like what is best for you. It sounds like they like you. Sounds like things have gone really well. I mean, you can make a pretty good case. It'd be one thing if you said, "I'm not coming in, and I haven't done any work since I've been sitting home." Right? Obviously, you're not in that position.
Yeah,
you're in a good one.
Sure.
So utilize it. Maybe
he says he's had some of the most productive time, working, being at home and working, and I'm sure there are other people in that same boat. Which, so their perspective is going to put them in a place where they're going to want to argue for more of this. Like, let's be remote work in general. We'll save money. But then you've got businesses. I deal with so many people in the games industry. They're suffering right now from this, not because they can't get the work done, not because they can't do stuff. It's the missing creative collaboration aspect cannot be replicated just with a little screen on your computer that says, hey, there's what's his name sitting in his chair. It just isn't the same that you can be able to run over to his cubicle, plop down on the chair backwards and go, dude, what if we did this? And then test it out right there. And then, oh, that actually works. All right, get Arden in here, see if that's a problem. And like all of that kind of collaboration kind of goes out the window. For work like his, maybe it doesn't. And so it's probably more frustrating for him to think, well, I'm not actually going to gain anything by going in there. In fact, if anything, I'll lose something because I'll be distracted. I don't want to talk to people. Yeah. So his own personal, what's the word I'm looking for? The right word's not going to come out, and that'll be bad. But his needs emotionally, like, I'm as someone who suffers from a little bit of that anxiety, I know how he feels, and so he's basically being asked to do something that's not as good as what he's doing now. And that's hard, man. I don't know what you say to people, because there are going to be others in his same office that are like, finally, we're back. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Hey, everyone, we're in Australia working together again. Like, they're stoked, right? But he's not. And I feel bad for him.
That's not a knife in your American accent. Took me a second.
It's not a work from home situation. This is a work from home situation.
Well, and I think there is the, confidence has been built for him, and that's awesome. And of course he's afraid that will be jeopardized by going back, right? Like, I think there's, you're in high school and you think, oh, this is it. And then you leave and you're like, oh, I'm such a better person, happier. And like, you don't ever want to go back, right? There's development, there's growth, there's changing. And, so let's honor it rather than, shove yourself back in that box. I get the fear, but maybe this is a chance. If they promoted you twice, sure, they could hear you out if you have a suggestion of maybe there's a more flexible situation. Maybe you come in on Wednesdays and that's when all the face-to-face collaborative meetings happen, or whatever it might be. I think people's minds have changed about a lot of things, and they're a little more open to differences than they probably ever have been.
Yeah.
So you got to take a risk here, but first get pretty clear what it is you need and value, and sort of what helps you thrive. Because and talk about it in those terms. I thrive like this. I recognize I need to probably be in the office for this. I'm going to buy 20 sandwiches every time I come into town. Whatever you got to do to sort of make your own case and advocate for yourself. This is hard generally, right? Like, advocating for yourself, everybody's got a voice in their head that's like, come on now, you're going to get fired. Or, who do you think you are? Or, well, then they're going to really see that you're not worth all that stuff. That voice is going to be there. So what you could do is get another piece of paper, write all that commentary down and say, thank you, and keep going.
Yeah.
Because it's there to protect you. It's there to say, okay, don't stick your neck out. You're going to get hurt. And it's usually wrong, but that's why it's there. It's there to try to make sure that you're okay. And you can thank it for that and say, all right, thanks. Step back a little bit. I got some work to do. You'd be amazed if you just give that voice a little listen and then ask it to calm down. You'll be surprised at how quiet it can become, and you can do other things. because it really, think of it as like a friend that just shows up to be like, oh, dude, you can't jump off that cliff. That's terrifying. Like, you're going to die. And you're like, hey, thanks. It's not really a cliff. It's just a curb. And it's going to be fine. But I appreciate you caring about me. And they're like, yeah, okay. And it's weird. It's how it works, though.
You know what? That's funny, because just today, Brian was talking about taking his own stitches out today. And there was this weird thing happening in the chat room where he cut his hand with a really sharp knife 2 weeks ago.
Long story.
So it's a long story. But anyway, he's got 3 stitches. They got to come out. And it's either go to the doctor where they're way behind on everything and it's like 2 weeks out for an appointment, or let's just do this here. And he's got an aunt who's a nurse. And so, he can deal with it. So that's the background on it. But in the chat room, it was really funny because some people were like, you're fine. I've done this a million times. Just take them out. And there are other people going, oh my gosh, be careful. You don't want the risk of infection.
You need to go to a doctor, Brian. Go to a doctor.
Go to a doctor. Go to a true professional. So there's like that. That sounds like the guy saying, don't jump off the cliff, when really the guy sees it as a curb. And this happens to me all the time. Like, I've got allergies right now, and the smoke we had in the valley for a while, which, by the way, is thankfully clear. It's so nice right now. But it was really getting to me in my throat. It was making me cough. Every time I cough, if we were doing anything live, chat room's like, go get a test. Get a test.
Right.
I'm like, and it's we're in a tricky space, because it used to be if you got a cold, you're like, ugh, feeling under the weather. I think I'm getting something. That sucks. Anyway, see you tomorrow, Brian. Like, it's no big deal. But now you kind of have to go, oh, wait a minute. What if that was a, so then they let the paranoia in a little bit. And as somebody once famously said, and I don't know who said it, but I love this joke, you used to have to cough to cover a fart. Now you have to fart to cover a cough. So you have that whole thing in public, right? So if you go out to a park and you go, people look at you. So now you got to fart really loud to cover it up.
A fart.
Yeah, it's just a fart. Everything's fine. I fart through my mouth. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up.
Or you like hork a popcorn kernel or something, and you're just like you're coughing and you're writing on a quick clipboard you carry around. It's a popcorn kernel. Yeah. It's not.
But the handwriting's so bad that because you're coughing while you do it, that they're just like, what does that say? The pea corn is you're choking on what? And like, they don't get it.
She has COVID. Run. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I hope this helps, and I think he's probably gonna do great. I mean, also, wouldn't it help a little bit just to think back to what things were like before March? Unless they were terrible for him, and he doesn't really say. But to think back to when things were a little bit more normal for him, this was just the way it was, So it's not like you haven't done this before. You can do it again. Maybe that's too simple. I don't know, but it seems like that would help me.
I think that's true. I think that's true. Also recognizing, like, again, some of those voices in our head don't grow up.
Yeah.
But you do. And that's always fascinating, right? Like, you've grown, become more productive, you've gotten promoted, your work has been noticed, like, you're having a good time, like, life is good.
Yeah.
But the voice in there that just goes, oh, don't say anything weird because people will think you're an idiot, is still 14. And so recognizing, like, we got to strengthen the understanding of, like, the good stuff that's going on. And I think sometimes that's tricky, especially when people have had some maybe traumatic experiences as children, or often you'll hear this when parents, kids who had parents divorced when they were at particular ages, will just always feel like the other shoe's going to drop. Like, okay, this good thing's happening, but there's no way that's going to last.
Right.
And so they're just kind of always prepared for that. I recommend you call a therapist and work that out, because it can be resolved, that feeling. And it really is like the friend jumping in to try to save you. Like, don't get comfortable, because at any minute your parents are going to sit you down and tell you it's over, and you will have not seen it coming. So never expect good things to not come with some bad things suddenly without you knowing, right? Yeah. So we have our histories wrapped in many stories like that, or whatever versions of that kind of thing are. And so we got a lot of people working in our heads to try to keep us from getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so they may say, oh, don't get too excited about your promotion.
Yeah.
Or they mixed you up with someone else. You shouldn't even have this promotion. Whatever those stories are, you can listen to them for a second and recognize they're not you, that they're there to help. You say thank you, and by your Subway when you're down in town once on a Wednesday.
Oh, I hope they don't have Subway there. They probably do, but maybe.
Please don't.
Subway,
That
Subway
is
is
the grossest.
Subway is the food chain that has the most restaurants in the world.
Are they really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, more than McDonald's, more than any other place.
And they're the one restaurant
sure
where
there are 1,000 in Australia.
Yeah, so it's
I
the one
believe
restaurant.
it. When we were in Sweden, we lived on the cutest town, little street above their main street. It was all cobblestone, and there was a friggin' Subway underneath our apartment.
Well, look,
Making sugar bread.
Yeah, if you ever need a BMT, you know right where to go. But watching people build my sandwich is a thing I forgot what looks like. That hasn't happened in a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if
There's lots of things. There's lots of things. There's lots of things that I'm not going to miss, and then there's some things that
I could barely understand them when they didn't have masks on. When they would say, "Do you want provolone or whatever?" Like I don't even understand it then. Now I got to hear a guy go, like I'm not going back there for a while. It's not happening. All right. Good stuff as always.
Sorry, we turned this into an anti-Subway campaign.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
everybody.
It's fine. It's just we're all a little tired of it. And I'm a little salty.
And
this week
winter's
anyway.
coming. Oh, we're supposed to talk about self-care. Dang it.
Oh shoot. Oh, that's right. We need to
Somebody.
do that. Somebody next week. We should do that thing you talked about last week, which was
listen, we're not going to accept any emails unless they're about a self-care question.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't trick us because we
you
are
tricked
tired
us
and
again.
we will forget.
That's right. Self-care. We want self-care questions, and then we'll turn it into a big self-care thing as winter approaches, because you need to do that while you get ready to hibernate a little bit. As if we haven't been doing that since March. All right. Wendy, it's great to talk to you.
Round.
As always, check out realsteps.org and get signed up for all the future goings on. Next wave of stuff coming soon. And anything else you want to mention about that or anything?
Just wash your hands, Scott, and you don't go outside. That'd be good.
I'll stay here. I'm fine. I can work here.
Yeah, you always have.
Yeah, I always
It's
have.
fine.
So I'm fine. I'm built for this. And I'm telling you, there's a whole generation of people who could do the dishes for 6 hours and actually enjoy themselves, but not actually do the dishes. That's me. Like I can do that with anything, even as an adult. If someone says, "Oh shoot, everything's shut down. We have to stay here for the next 30 hours." Some people freak out. I go, "I got stuff I can do. That's good. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. And I can be on my own
Dishes for 6 hours.
In fact, I love being out. I love being by myself. I love it. I love it. I don't hear a bunch of FOMO in my head about anything. I'm fine. So don't worry about me. I'm totally fine.
It's fine. This guy in Australia will worry about you.
Yeah, we'll worry about you. We'll
dude.
collectively worry about you. Wendy, have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, Brian. It's come to this,
Scott.
Brian. It's come to this.
What does it come to?
It's come to the end of the show.
Where are we at? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
There's this email from Brock I got to read. It says this. It says fandom car picking from episode 2003. By the way, today is 2006. Let's celebrate the
we
launch.
didn't even talk about.
We'll celebrate the launch of the Wii this year. How about that? Or this episode. The Wii. That's the year the Wii came out.
And the music still staying with us forever. The music evergreen. The games, maybe not so much.
Yeah, but the music's still with us. In fact, take a moment with me, folks, and enjoy this moment of this. Here we go. Yes, you're playing Wii Sports, are you? Well, hop in. Let's bowl. Let's play tennis. Oh, you don't want to do? You want to buy something? Oh, let's go to the store. Let's hang out in the Wii shop. Yeah. See, that's a great place to be. I like it. Anyway,
it is like a smooth, like a soothing, warm bath of music. I love
that's
it.
right. It's pretty good. Anyway, he says, "Good morning, Scott and Brian. If the cars listed had their powers," he's talking about the Back to the Future car,
Yes,
Mad Max car. All that.
choose the vehicle. The keys are in the ignition. Which one do you take?
All right. It says the Back to the Future car would win for many reasons if there wasn't any rules on going back to where you picked going back to when you picked with a car full of people to get the other cars.
Right.
I don't think I understand that.
So in other words, if the Back to the Future car had its powers as in fictional time travel powers,
right,
you could actually go. You could pick that car and then go back in time and pick all the other cars and bring them back to the future.
Yeah, he's right. Okay, now I get it.
Although I don't know how you bring them back to the future because you can't fit them into the DeLorean, but I guess you
And that can't tow them. They can't like tow at 88.9 miles an hour or whatever.
That's right. Could you tow a car? Well, with the DeLorean.
These are
So
new
yeah,
questions.
you could go back and then get the other cars, but you just
Well, then it says
I get what he's saying. Yes.
yeah, it's possible you could go hide them somewhere or something and then get them later in the future.
Right. Yes, just like you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, because that makes sense. So then it says you could have a fleet of cars, and the deal with those people could be that they're yours, but you get to drive them when needed for big team missions.
So many unnecessary apostrophes in that sentence.
That really threw me. That sentence threw me. That's from Brock in Kalamazoo. Brock, thank you for sending
thank you,
an email. That's it. Patreon.com/TMS. If you want to support this stuff. And tomorrow we'll do a PM edition, 3:30 Mountain Time. Dan, the tabletop man, will be with us, I believe. I'll verify today. And we'll have some fun with the patrons. But you can only get it if you're a patron. And there'll be a post on the Patreon page when that goes live. So if you want that, you got to throw us $1 a month at a minimum. And it's no big deal. Piece of cake. What's $1?
Exactly.
Come on.
What are you waiting for?
Patreon.com/
cheapest entertainment you can get.
That's right. Honestly, we screwed up so bad on this. So please take advantage of us. All right, just get in there and do it. $1 for 18 hours of stuff a month. It's just insane. So anyway, go do that, and we'd love it if you did, if you haven't already. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. Brian, let's play a song.
Okay, I already kind of told everybody about this song earlier. I'm going to tell you all again. Rosie is the name of the band. They're from Texas, made up of sisters Zoe and Molly. Zoe on vocals and guitar, Molly on drums. They sound awesome. Picked up their instruments at a very young age, taught themselves how to play.